Hello, this is Sebastian, and I'm going to guide you through the process of installing the MRV development framework for developers actually. So I just skip just right to the proper point in the documentation, the developer installation guide or manual, however you want to call it. And first of all, we need to get some dependencies installed. That's nose for testing, for instance, and IPython, which is very important to get the interactive IPython shell with MRV and Maya support going. And we are going to install this using easy install. It's part of the Python setup tools, and if you don't have them on your system, here's where you can get them relatively easily as well. Alright, so let's do this. I will need root permissions. Easy install 2.6. and the dependencies. So choosing easy install 2.6 here allows me to use Maya 2010 or Maya 2011, which will do just fine for me. Yes, sorry. There we go. It was so fast because I had these installed already. It's not the first time I do the video, by the way, but this time it's going to be alright. And the next thing you have to do is to get the actual code, which is to be found in a Git repository on Gitorious, but you could also clone it from GitHub, doesn't really matter. So I will put this into an extra directory here, just to keep it separate from the other stuff I have on my system. Just paste this line. So it will pull these 10 megabytes now and extract all the data onto your hard disk. As it by itself depends on a few external modules, which are kept as Git submodules, we have to initialize these as well. So if you forget this, it wouldn't work, but we won't forget this, of course, although it's quite easy. And also a tiny bit incomplete because we actually have to cd into the just created MRV repository to be able to initialize these submodules. So let's just paste this line, git submodule update init, to get them. Basically these are slimmed down versions of the respective Python packages, just to make sure MRV starts up faster and doesn't use so much memory. And well, we should be done now. And to verify this, we use the tmrv program to run all the tests for us. It's in test bin tmrv, and I want to have Maya 2011, although it would choose this automatically as it always chooses the latest version that you have on your system. Okay, so now we'll start up the system Python interpreter version 2.6, 64-bit version, by the way. So actually the only version that we can really use here is Maya 2011 because it's 64-bit as well. And the Snow Leopard system Python interpreter 2.6 happens to be 64-bit as well. So this works, otherwise it wouldn't work and you would get some incompatibility message. So 2011 works pretty well on OSX, Snow Leopard at least, but OSX could be a bit more troublesome for you if you have a Leopard or other Maya versions, so you have to be careful with that, but I think I describe it here somewhere, so you shouldn't be in so much trouble actually. So last thing to test is whether iMRV works, which is great to interactively try out MRV. And if everything works, it should drop us into some beautifully colored command line session here. So it will import everything about MRV into the root namespace here. So we can create a node, an MRV node, by the way, from the perspective camera. So we have a full We have a full scene here already. It's the untitled default scene that you get if you open Maya. So we have a perspective camera, and now we can get the children, for instance, which is just the perspective shape, which is a camera type object. And this is of course a transform, so it should have a translate attribute or a scale attribute. No, it has a scale attribute, which is PS. Well, and now you can of course use the auto-completion to try out a few things. For instance, set parent perhaps? Yes. With a question mark, you see what it's supposed to do. But this doesn't really help here. So, a child is perhaps a little bit more descriptive. No, it is not. What's happening there? I'll figure that out. It's a preview, but it's really functional, as you've seen in the tests. So have fun with it, and goodbye.